5 or 4. We don't know what time it is because they keep changing all the reset times in the game. But right now today, there are 2 blitzes currently running. And the idea is to save all of the rewards. And then there's an event starting 2 days from now. Save them and open them because the event rewards earning blitz credits. So you want to save everything. The other thing, too, is that they changed the location of the daily rewards on the web store. I think I have to go look again. I already collected it, but it's close to the top. It's somewhere near the top. Some people have been having some issues thinking it was going to be at the bottom. I know before I'd always hit like power cores and go all the way down the bottom, but they're not there anymore. Also, you can see it here on my screen. There are issues with collecting milestones. It is laggy/bugged. There was like at least 5 or 6 Reddit posts talking about that. I don't know. I know that the issue has been reported. We're going to see if it gets fixed or not. Anybody remember Spidey Supreme? One of the oldest, biggest rumors in the game was Spider-Man that worked for AIM, known as Spidey Supreme, honestly, of AIM, and the team was pretty cool. Anyways, I feel like we got Spider-Weaver instead of Spidey Supreme. Now, Tana was the one that knew the most about it. It wasn't a rumor. He was actually data mined. He had this weird kit that was a combination between Spider-Man and Scientist Supreme. Unfortunately, they removed him from the files the next patch. Yeah, and if I were to guess, is that we got Spider-Weaver instead, instead of Spider Supreme or Spidey Supreme. That's the only thing I can figure. But that was a thing back in the day. Weird opinion. Oh, my God. I want to read this post because I'm pretty salty here. And generally, people on Reddit are pretty salty, but this post made me smile, and I agree with this post. I know, this Reddit is for complaining only, but you know what? I actually really enjoy playing this game. I was a Dolphin first year playing, gave me serious head start and all the content, and boosted me quickly in the top 50 alliances for raids and wars. I'm now nearly 3 years in and maybe spent $50 to $100 a month, which is a lot. That is a lot of money. It's good money. Think of that what you want. I enjoy playing. I like getting in the top 5 in the arena, and if I time it well, the rank #1 spot. If I don't time it well, I end up fit 10 to 15. I like doing raids, pushing 3.5 Doom every day. It was cool getting Death Seed after months of struggling mutant. Yeah, no kidding. And now it's fun and using Rebirth and Bio, for sure. I love War. I like doing practice nodes and see what works and doesn't. I do too. Hopefully they come out with a Cosmic Crucible version of practice mode for Cosmic Crucible. I think that'd be fantastic. Now here's the bad news. My alliance is disbanding next week. Too many players burned out. Bunch quitting, bunch going casual. Here I am looking for more competitive hardcore alliance. Top 10 is the only way moving forward. The milestone events are what they are. I've completed every single month-long event. So he's talking about the month-long events without spending money on them. And many people have told me that they've done the same. You can say what you want. They can be completed free to play if you want. Some characters I unlock at 3 stars now instead of 4 or 5 stars. Like I used to, but they work well enough. I'm not competing with the Krakens that have 7/7 on everything. And that's the thing too. I think this guy, of course, spends money on the game, but there's a whole subset of players, and I think they've really got Marvel Strike Force down, and they've got the game beat where they do not spend money on the game. And guess what? If they lose, it's a non-event because they don't spend money on the game, right? And they lost because they were outgunned or outspent or whatever like that. And if they win, it's because they played well and then they can punch up and they can compete. And I think that is the trick to these types of games. If you can play without worrying about keeping up with the Joneses or anything like that, then you, in fact, have beat the game. Let's go to the next one. No more Red Star Double. This has been reported, and many people have been telling me that it applied not only to the Morgan Le Fay payout with 4 red stars. Now, the Morgan Le Fay payout, even though it's a dark promotion credits, they give back Elite Fours, which is controversial. And believe me, we've complained about it, and we're trying to get it to pay out dark promotion credits rather than Elite Fours. But I think this happened also with the Ghost Blitz. And so I put in a note to the developers. Hopefully this is not a problem. I already have the 4 red stars. Is it not supposed to give me Elite 4 currency? Yes. Had the same issues with a 5 red star Winter Soldier. No reward. Okay. We'll have to see. Scopely, and this is kind of an interesting post right here. Is hoarding intended? It's been very apparent that hoarding is being accounted for in the planning of events. I really like to have an official word on whether there's intentional or just something they haven't figured out on how to account for. And I don't think they're going to speak to this. You won't see an official word on it because while needing to hoard is intentional, they don't actually want us to hoard. So we'll be driven to spend in order to complete events. Yeah, they actually would prefer if nobody hoarded. They hate the hoarders, and they want everybody to last minute be screwed and then have to spend money on offers and so on. No, you're not intended to hoard. You're intended to buy offers. The hoarding is a side effect they're probably not happy about. And I've heard that from a former developer of Galaxy of Heroes in that game there. They absolutely did not like the hoarders at all. They don't even lie as if it's intended. They don't want you to. Yeah, it's worse. Hoarding is a safety valve. They want us to buy offers, but it's useful to have a sliding scale towards free-to-play where you can hoard and avoid buying, but it's an incredibly painful experience. The pain is part of the plan. So it's just a funny thing, right? And then this post here talks about how the stores are largely getting ignored. And the problem that happened in Marvel in Galaxy of Heroes is that the best, well, here, I'll read this and then I'll explain. The best evidence that hoarding is unintentional is the store currencies. They fell behind on the cadence by adding characters to the Blitz and Raid orbs, which caused the player base to build up hundreds of thousands of credits and hundreds of orbs in both stores. They don't want players to immediately 7-star new entry to those stores, so they slowed down the cadence even further, and now they almost never add new characters to them. In Galaxy of Heroes, they gave up on a lot of stores, and they said they're never adding new characters to them, and that's that. And I hope they don't do that on Marvel Strike Force. They may have a different system of maybe introducing a new type of orb that can be purchasable with a larger amount of currency that has a % chance. I could see them doing that on the Raid store. Some special orb that has, the newest and latest character, maybe has Agent Venom in it, and it costs a lot more than the current orb does, and it has a small chance. I see them doing something like that to cut back on people that have amassed currency. And then also, I just want to put this out there. They've said nothing about the Teal War Orbs. And I know people are saving for these Teal War Orbs, and I'm calling it now. These Teal War Orbs are going to come out, and they're going to be expensive, and they're not going to give the gear that you want, and people are going to be upset. I'm expecting a large number of the player base who has been hoarding currency in anticipation of a Teal War Orb to be extremely disappointed. I'm calling it now. Have they forgot about Pocket Dimension? No, there's one coming. In fact, there's a quantum tag in game, and I think Kang is about the quantum tag, and nobody knows exactly, but probably later in this month. Some people said like around the 23rd, there's going to be a Pocket Dimension of some kind, and maybe it'll be tied to Kang in some way. Also, what's the most reliable and consistent source of monthly tier lists in the game? A tier list per patch, and I thought the comment to this, sort the team by release date. There's your tier list. And I think the only two exceptions to that, because I think that's large. They're not wrong, right? That is the answer. I think there are two anomalies that I can think of. Is that would be Eternals, Infinity Watch have kind of bucked the trend, and it seems like that they have held out a little bit longer than most teams. Now, there actually are some offers worth considering. But before we get to those, let's go over some offers that actually hurt. These things are hard to get. And I noticed that in the new, Chapter 5 and Chapter 6 of the new nodes, there are a ton of these that can be farmed. Right now, there's only 3 nodes of these that can be farmed. Anyways, this is outrageous, $30. But yeah, I'm short on these catalysts for sure. And then also people have been talking a lot about how many characters do they have out of the 23 at Blue ISO 4 of the 23 characters required for Apocalypse? Some people are like 16 of 23. Some people are like 20 of 23. Well, the bad news is this. You need this is exactly how many you need. You need 715,000 Blue ISO 4s to take a single character from Blue ISO 3 to Blue ISO 4. And guess what that costs? $100. Outrageous. Hurts my soul. Also, this adds up to a little bit less than 10 boomer dollars when I do the math, because that's worth about $3. That's worth about $3. I don't value that at all. That's worth about $2. That's worth about $3. So that does kind of almost add up to $10. All right, this is probably the only offer I will be buying in today's offer review. 200 of these training materials is equivalent to about 5 between 5 and 6. I think I did the math and it was 5.5 training material orbs. So, you know, when you could buy training material orbs at under $5, there you go. And so I feel like I know, and I'm just going to talk for a little bit about training material orbs. Some people hoard everything, and I get that, and they never have any scarcity on any resource. And then there's people that have no gold ever, and then there's people that have no training materials ever. And I feel like this is a function of one's willingness to purchase with gold gear. And some people don't spend any money on gear with their gold, and I have found that those are the ones that typically have a training material shortage. And I believe it's intentional. This is kind of like a backstop, a bottleneck, if you will, to limit your progression and force people to spend gold on gear, let's say. I suspect, I don't have any data behind that, but I suspect what that issue is. Also, for purchasers of T4s, typically they try to sell 100 T4s for $10. So this is a favorable ratio, although I don't really value any of these right here, nor do I value that much at all. This is interesting. This is not an amazing deal, but this is an interesting deal for sure. Typically, you know, when you can get a character that you want for $5 for 50 character charge, it's reasonable enough. Now, Death Pool is going to be required for Apocalypse. Her and Kestrel, along with Spider Weaver, are the 3 additions of the Strike team on top of the Horsemen and the Horseman teams. And then you got some training materials there as well. Then lastly, we've got a Dazzler offer. She is inside of the War Store. And then also she has a node, but I don't know when that node is going to be unlocking. I know that I can't remember off the head, but there's going to be some of the nodes are going to be unlocked. But in this patch, she did have a node, so I expect her to be more available, hopefully by the end of this patch, so the next month or so. There we've got Phantom X, and he has a node. And then lastly, if you are in the market for T3 training ability materials, the purple T3s, and there are anywhere between 350 and 400 in this. Small amount of purple gear, small amount of gold, and characters from you too. And this is the best price that they have on that amount of T3 purple training materials. Okay, so now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked today's video, because if you did, you are in luck. That's right. Every single person that likes this video today will be getting for free in their account an 8-star egg hoarder. I don't know. I guess it's not really a character. It's just a meme. I don't know. I couldn't make it work. But this is Scopely's break room after trial of strength event. Yeah, egg prices are out of control for sure. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. Bye for now. Excellent trash offers. Woof. What is this song? I'm downvoting it.